New York City, 1934. The wind off the Hudson cut through 7th Avenue and into my bones. I was in my office above a pawn shop on West 31st listening to the radiator lie when the knock came. 3 quick taps and one that meant trouble. She entered without waiting. No perfume, no feathers, just a wool coat too thin for January and eyes that knew the price of everything. Mr. Carlin. That's what the door says. My husband is missing, she said, and set an envelope on my desk as if it were loaded. The police called it a domestic quarrel. Inside was a single nickel polished bright and a scrap of brown paper torn from a grocery bag. In pencil, pay the note or he dies. No signature, no drama, just pressure. He left yesterday morning, she went on. Frank Malloy, bookkeeper at Garrison Wholesale on Canal Street. He never came home. I did what a citizen is supposed to do. I took it to the precinct. The desk sergeant barely looked up. Come back when you've got a body, he said. Enemies, I asked when I returned. He keeps ledgers, she said. He keeps everything. That last line was the first clue. Garrison Wholesale smelled like wet cardboard and old coffee. Lou Garrison, thick in the shoulders and thin in the soul, greeted me with a smile that didn't reach his throat. Malloy, good with figures, he said. Maybe he ran. Men run these days. Men don't run and mail nickels, I said. He showed me Frank's desk. Neat as a Sunday shirt. Too neat, like somebody had cleaned it for court. The wastebasket held fresh paper but no pencil shavings. A shipping clerk waited until Garrison stepped away. Frank found something, he whispered. Sal said there were 2 sets of books. That night I took the nickel to Benny Sloat, a coin man who'd seen more scams than Sundays. He scraped the edge with a pin. Plated, he said, dipped to make it shine. Also warm, it was heated then wrapped. Whoever wrote that note did it near a stove or boiler, fast. Boiler, grocery paper warehouse basement. After midnight I returned to Canal Street. The side door was chained, but chains are only brave until you introduce them to steel cutters. Downstairs the boiler room hissed and coughed and coal dust floated in the lamplight. A puddle by the drain held an oily rainbow, the kind you get from watch grease. On a work table I found a pencil, a roll of grocery bags, and a cigar box full of nickels, some bright, some dull. Behind the boiler sat a steel door, cheap lock, the kind a man buys when he's afraid of honest people but trusts criminals. Inside the light was dim and the air tasted of ink and rope. Frank Malloy sat bound to a chair, eyes wide, mouth taped. A black cloth ledger rested on the table. Then a voice behind me, "Hands up, Carlin." Lou Garrison held a revolver steady. 2 men flanked him, hard faces and soft hats. Malloy was going to ruin me, Garrison said. He found the real ledger. He was going to the feds. You could have fired him. Garrison's gold tooth flashed. And let him talk? No. I needed time to fix the numbers. 5 cents, 5 days. On the wall hung a calendar with 5 squares crossed out. He'd turned murder into bookkeeping. You wrote pay the note, I said. What note, Lou? His eyes slid just once to the ledger. He blinked. I moved. I swung the boiler room lamp into his face. The gun went off loud as thunder and the bullet chewed wood instead of my skull. 1 goon rushed me. I drove him into the boiler casing. The other grabbed for Malloy, but Malloy kicked his chair over and fought like a man who'd been priced too low. I found a wrench and ended the debate. Garrison tried to run. He made it 3 steps before Malloy crashed into him and they went down together. When the cops arrived, they looked irritated, as if crime should schedule itself around their lunch. But a hidden room, a ledger, and a calendar of crossed-out days is hard to ignore. Outside, the first gray morning leaked over the street. Mrs. Malloy clung to her husband like he might vanish again. Malloy looked at me and rasped, "You're late." "Yeah," I said, "but you're alive. Try to stay that way." Back upstairs, the radiator finally coughed out heat. I set the shiny nickel on my desk. In this city, 5 cents won't buy much unless it buys time. And time is the one thing every crook thinks he can steal forever. Later, while Malloy gave his statement and the boiler room cooled, I cracked the ledger. The columns weren't just crooked, they were criminal. Phantom shipments, spoilage written where cash had walked out, and neat payments to dock inspector who liked his hands clean. Malloy had been copying figures because he knew a man without proof is just a mouth. Before I left, I slipped the plated nickel back into Mrs. Malloy's palm. "Keep it," I told her. "It's expensive." She stared at the coin, then at her husband and nodded as if she understood what the city charges for a day of life.